But up next, herO versus Cure, game number 2. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Hardlead, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing CranKy Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is herO. And spawning in the top left, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran, currently teamless, but one of the best Terrans in South Korea. It is Cure. So again, Nightmare is popping off in the upper bracket, taking down Terran after Terran. You love to see it. Yeah, Nightmare again. He's always had PvT as his best matchup, and every now and then he pops off and he takes down some big names. But very rarely does he take down big names back to back. You know, for him to 2-0 Oliveira and to 2-0 Gumiho, he's got a lot of momentum going his way, and I want to believe that he can keep on going and even have a finals run. Best of luck to Nightmare as he goes up against Bjorn in that upper semifinals match. They're currently mid-series. I don't know if they're in game 1, game 2, or game 3, but they are in the middle of their series. Meanwhile, we have our own series to catch up on. Again, we missed out on game 1, but for context, the winner of Cure versus herO faces Dark in the lower semifinals. So we're going to be finishing up this series, then we're going into Dark, then we're going into the finals. That is the plan. That is the current plan. For now, we do have a Gate Cyber Expand setup, so standard opener here from herO. Everything looking as it should. Meanwhile, Cure going for an economic opener as well, going for a Rax Expand, only a single gas opener from our Terran player. So very economic here, as he does skirt around the edge of the map, comes in with that SCV, but does get spotted by the probe. If it was not scouted, then Cure could have potentially thrown down a bunker behind the mineral line in time for the Reaper. But Cure has eyes on it. He makes sure that the SCV does get the hell out of there, and then he can go back to mining in the main. Reaper shows up, but again, won't have the luxury of a bunker to take advantage of. Just coming in for a scout. Make sure everything is on the up and up. Maybe a probe kill if possible, as the Stalker comes out and will force this back. Oh, herO. As the Reaper leaves, we have our tech of choice. It is not a Twilight Council, it is not a Stargate, it is a Robo. Okay. Very interesting, very unorthodox. So, Robo openers, they can lead into a couple of different things. One, it can be a very safe opener. With this, you can get into faster Immortal production, and then into even faster Colossus production once you get the Robotics Bay. So you can just kind of be really tech heavy and just rush into Colossus. The downside is that you don't have map control because you don't have Blink or Phoenixes. You don't have any way to shut down drop play or really have a presence on the map, or much of a presence on the map. So interesting tech choice here from herO. The other thing, as we see 2 more gateways, we should be seeing a Warp Prism. 3 gates in total, so quite aggressive. And yep, there it is. Warp Prism is on the way. So herO, he's going to be very aggressive here with vanilla gateway units. And Cure hasn't seen this. He hasn't seen the tech. He hasn't seen the additional gateways. So you can reinforce on the front lines, of course, with this push. You can blink defensively. You can't blink offensively. So there's a little bit less power in this, but it does hit faster than a Blink Stalker opener, as this is spotted. The Prism is seen. Hellion dips into the natural base, and we'll get 1 probe. Oh, just barely does get 1 worker. But the War Prism was spotted, and as a result, Cure should be aware. There we go, he's getting ready. We have Widowmines getting in position. It looks like herO should be focusing on maybe getting Adepts into the main for some economic damage. But already, herO, he's transitioning. He's taking up a Twilight Council, and a Forge is on the way. Not a Robotics Bay. Interesting. As he's going to be rotating around towards the right-hand side instead. herO has control of this Xel'Naga, so he knows it's safe to do so. He has control of both Xel'Nagas, to be fair, but Cure is very, very well fortified here in his main. So herO wants to try to head towards the natural if possible. Or actually, no, he's just keeping the Prism back. Okay, I like it. He's shifting gears. Now there's some pros and cons to this. Obviously, it means that this Robo opener wasn't worth it. We're not making any observers. We're not using the Warp Prism because we got scattered. So this means that charge is late. It means that the tech overall here from herO is very late. We're throwing down 3 more gateways. This is looking like a 2-base all-in even. We should be seeing a third by now. Also, I said no observers. I mean, there are observers here on the map, at least for some detection, for some vision. But yeah, outside of that, it does mean that charge is delayed for herO. Prism is staying at home, and we are expanding, thankfully. We are looking to take the third base. As I mentioned before, though, again, because of this opener, because of all the tech switches, herO has no map control. Like, he isn't really pressuring his opponents. He can't really threaten the mineral line. He can't threaten the bases, the tanks, the marines. herO is stuck at home just trying to recover. And this does mean that Cure is free to do whatever he wants. He's fully saturated on 2 bases. He's building up his tanks. He's working on Stim. He's got his Raven. Looking at the upgrades as well, he has Interference Matrix. So the reason why we see this already, as we're going in for a mine drop, doesn't quite get much done, thankfully. But the reason why we see Interference Matrix is because Cure was assuming that we would work towards a faster robotics bay, but he scouts. He sees the Twilight Council and the Templar Archives, which means he knows that we don't have the gas to get into Colossus. It is Charger Archon and Storm, so a really good scout here from Cure. So more or less he knows what kind of army he's up against. He's preparing back at home, building his forces up. Third CC is on the way. No need to go all in. And again, this third base from herO is delayed as well. It's delayed because of all the tech switches and all the production that was thrown down. So there's nothing pressuring Cure to commit. He will be pushing with his upgrades. Once Stim and +1 kick in, like he can move out, don't get me wrong. But again, Cure, he's chilling. Big chilling here. Raven is going to be threatening the main, forcing some supply to stay in position. High Templar is here to I almost said recall, to feedback. And we are just getting into the mid game. Cure getting ready to main out over. Like, what's scary here is that the macro of Cure is insane. He's keeping up with the economy of herO, with the worker count, I should say. Once the third base is taken, it's really going to kick in, and Cure will have a supply lead. herO, he's going to have to rely a lot on Storm. He's got 5 High Templar. Can he pull this off? Does have a Storm available. Goes for a Storm of the army. He gets 1 Marine. Not quite worth it here. I mean, you know, it's a 1 Marine for energy, I guess. Less than ideal. This herO is shocking around. And if he's able to somehow get into a mineral line with storms, that'll be beautiful. But here we go. He's just pulling everything together, amassing his army. Plenty of storms available. Charge is done. Immortals are here. But we're pushing into a tank line. Good, good. Decent EMPs. The storms, they will connect. One of them will. Oh my god. Massive storms on the bio army, and we still had another left over as well. It looks like herO, he is barely trying to break through into the third. Zealots come in, and it looks like herO will break into that third base. He takes down every single tank. The storms were good enough. And herO takes down the mineral line. Reinforcements are coming in, and with these reinforcements, Cure can maybe try to hold on. Oh, the juggling! The Raven comes back home, throws down the auto turrets. But we are not stopping the warp-ins. Another big storm. And herO has done it. I was concerned if the storms were any worse. We saw some amazing storms in the bio army, and it was enough to break through. Barely enough. And honestly, there was so much pressure on herO to break Cure before he really got into this third base. Before he really took advantage of it. Otherwise, herO would have been in a lot of trouble. The EMPs, they missed as well. They did not connect with the High Templar. as herO is pushing on forward into the natural. Another big storm as well in the Marines. 49 SCVs go down. We go for a big warping of Zealots, and herO has done it. GG gets called. herO takes game number 2 and advances on to the semifinals. GG. Oh my god. God, there was just so much pressure on herO to make something happen then and there, to break the defenses then and there as well, and yeah, he barely did. I mean, I say he barely did. Again, the storms were ideal. Juicy connections on those storms, hitting the center of the Marines, of the Marauders, able to make enough room for the Immortals, for the Zealots to get on top of the tanks as well. And GG, well played. It was also a little bit fortunate as well that Cure didn't have his Raven back at home. The Raven would have added to the defense as well, whether it's with Interference Matrix or even whether it's with the Matrix or even with auto turrets or even an anti-armor missile on all those Zealots. Whichever spell was used, it all would have helped, especially the disable. Specifically, Cure would have tried to disable the Prism, which would have stopped the High Templar from being dropped and would have stopped some of those storms, or a lot of those storms actually. So again, like, that would have been a strong moment there if we had the Raven at home. If Cure was ready. That's something that we have to put a little bit of onus on Cure, is that Cure didn't see the move out. Cure, he did not see the army push out across the map. We spoke about how herO, he actually had the Zelnagas, you know, herO, as he was moving towards his 4th, like, there just wasn't anything to spot him as he went through the center of the map, and GG, well played. Congratulations to herO, and we have our next series that we're getting ready for. It is going to be herO versus Dark. Let's go. It wouldn't be an online tournament without herO versus Dark. Let's be real.